Hello! What is likely the single most important action you can take to improve your journey to health? Assuming you're overweight, and 1 in 3 adults are, it's losing weight. But it feels more like losing your mind. In this episode, not only do I share some of my journey, let you know where I started and where I currently am, but I give you the secret sauce to weight loss and the small change in my diet I am making in the upcoming week. There are 2 large categories, overweight and obese. And of those obese, there are 3 more categories, with severe being the most. Being overweight or obese is a significant issue in America. Rather than going over all of these statistics, let me focus on one, this final graph. From 1999 to 2018, adults aged 20 and above, age-adjusted prevalence, or how many people have the condition. By the way, the data source for all of this is in a link in my description. From 99 to 18, 2 decades, notice the increase in obesity. About 30% of U.S. adults rising to over 40% were obese. In severe obesity, a little over 4% rising to a little over 9%. Why should this be alarming? Healthcare costs and quality of life are going to decrease in parallel over time. For most people and their chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart health, losing weight is the single most important thing you could do to take charge and change the course of your disease. But it is the most difficult thing. I would like to say stay tuned to the end of this video for my magic pill. Pills can work, though I question our ability to maintain the weight loss. But I don't want to be dependent on them for the rest of my life. And while there's no magic pill at the end of my video, there is a much requested return of Nurse AI. I believe we can overcome together. Yes, I'm not just the owner of Journey to Health, but I'm also a client. We're going to start my story with you on this episode. Leave your comments on any particular area you want me to cover in upcoming videos. The series will form a playlist including some upcoming great interviews and examples from others that will share their secrets. It seems like every day there's a new diet plan or a pill or a supplement on the market promising quick, dramatic weight loss. You've probably tried some of them. I know I've tried some. And maybe they worked for a while, but in the end the weight came back, not to mention the stress, the hunger, and the feeling that you're fighting your own body every step of the way. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't need to starve yourself or spend hours at the gym. You don't need to swear off all your favorite foods forever. What if I told you there's a simpler, healthier, more enjoyable way to lose weight and keep it off? Like many of you, I've had my own struggles with weight. I've spent time trapped in cycles of trying to diet, losing some weight, and then gaining it back plus some extra. I could go through all the pictures, but this is at most only our 3rd date, and we do not know one another that well yet. But hitting 56 years old, the weight doesn't come off like it used to. Life gets busy. I become more frustrated along with all the feelings of failure that come with it. But then, I realized something important. The problem isn't that I'm a failure, because I do keep trying. Failure is when you give up. The problem is with the methods I was using. I had to realize there is no quick fix. There is slow and methodical change. You see, it took me 56 years to develop this physique, and it's not coming off quickly. You need to realize and accept that, and it's okay. You are who you are. Do not judge yourself by the way you look. Others may, but you shouldn't. Focus and build on your strengths, on what you bring to the table in helping others in something. Get your thoughts focused outside of you, realizing there's more to life than you being overweight. Just like you, I've fallen for the promises of quick fixes, miracle weight loss programs, supplements, stand on your head for 2 minutes, then roll over programs. I have tried most all of the diets, Atkins, South Beach, keto, low carb, high carb, low fat, high fat, eat all the ice cream you want, you name it. They all may work for a time. Well, probably not the ice cream one. I'd lose weight, but it would always come back. But with every failed diet, I felt more desperate, more out of control. Each year, I would be 2 to 5 pounds or more heavier, more aches and more pains. You get the picture. But I am a doctor, and I figured if anyone can figure this out, it has to be me, for me. And not too long ago, I started a different journey. I realized it more in the world of health behavior change and not diets or what perfect foods I needed. Although you do have to eat differently, as there is no magic pill. But there is a why. Why am I overweight? Why do I eat like that? For many, eating is closely tied to emotions. And what you may not know that we're going to cover in a future episode is sugar specifically releases dopamine. And dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in the brain's reward and pleasure system. When we eat sugary foods, our brains respond by releasing dopamine, which makes us feel good and reinforces the desire to repeat that behavior that led to the pleasure in the first place. Cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and basically most of the other illegal drugs take advantage of this dopamine pathway. Playing video games, I just threw that one in there for a future episode. Medications such as Wellbutrin, which can treat smoking cessation and depression. Do you begin to see a trend here? Eating is tied to something very core to who we are, down to the way we experience pleasure and reward. It's a very powerful foe for you and me, my friend. Understanding that we are wired to overconsume the wrong things is an important first step. Now, it's not an excuse to continue in the behavior, but it can give you insight in how to fight the battle. My journey, I framed into this general health behavior concept I call getting closer to the vine. It's just what you expect, but it's simple to understand, and while it addresses what you eat, it incorporates why you eat and how to change what you eat. Yes, it is about eating more natural whole foods, less processed, less sugar, less meat, but not as part of a restrictive diet, but as a way of life. When I woke up a few months back, I was 262 pounds. My BMI was 38, class 2 obesity if you want to be medical. I was uncomfortable, felt tired, and very frustrated. After all, I am a doctor, I should know better. And if you are a doctor watching my channel and struggling, it's okay to be really smart about this and still struggle. Your base neurological wiring diagram is very powerful, and that's okay. Now my secret sauce. Sure, you have to change eating patterns. Let me explain by describing smoking cessation. The withdrawal symptoms usually peak after a few days and then decrease over a few weeks. We have lots of help to get through this period, medicines, patches, gums, etc. But I would argue that that's the easy part. And we do not spend enough time talking about the hard part. But it is the part that makes you successful over a longer time period. The withdrawal effects after the nicotine has cleared are psychological. It is the behavior likely related to the why you smoked in the beginning. Now, this is not a stop smoking video, it's a weight loss video. But the same principle applies to the most addictive substance known to man. Not my medical opinion, but conjecture, and that's sugar. So what did I do in my Closer to the Vine concept? I started with small changes, a piece of fruit instead of the kids' candy, grilled chicken instead of fried, a salad at Chick-fil-A instead of nuggets. And over time, those small changes have started adding up. We were eating corn on the cob the other day with my in-laws, and my mother-in-law went to get the butter in the fridge, and she asked where it was. I responded, oh, right there, right in the middle of the door. Then I realized about the time she said, well, that's plant-based. In our kitchen, we had gotten so used to olive oil or avocado oil butter that it was part of our life. It was a small change. We didn't take dairy butter out at first. We just woke up one day and realized we were good with this butter. There is not a huge difference in nutrition, but a little. 40% less saturated fat and a lot less cholesterol, 0 grams, where dairy butter has 30 grams per tablespoon. And perfect for those in which dairy upsets your stomach. Foods closer to the vine are often higher in fiber, keep you fuller longer, and are packed with the nutrients your body needs to function at its best. Plus, they can be delicious. And no, I'm not a vegan. I still like Texas-style brisket, and I will until I die. But I don't eat as much of it. I do not like tofu, and not sure that I ever will. I'm trying my hand at different lentil recipes, kind of like a pot of beans. My wife has started experimenting with quinoa. How do you say it? Quinoa? I don't know. But when you add some Italian spices, tomato sauce, and fresh basil, it makes a pretty good dish. So have I lost weight? Yes. I am now down to 243 pounds, a BMI of 35, just slipped into class 1 obesity instead of class 2. But more than that, I gained energy. My mood improves. I sleep better. And the best part, I'm not on a diet. I'm just living a healthier life, making changes every week to every month. The process is slower, but it is effective, and it will still be effective after the proverbial first of the new year. I have not finished this journey, so I do not have dramatic before and after pictures. I'm just traveling it with you. My journey to health isn't about a quick fix, and yours will not be either. There's not a magic pill, I've looked. It's about small, sustainable changes that have made a huge difference. I promise you, if I can do it, so can you. I do have some great success stories to share with some surprise guests of mine. How does a 74-year-old lose 80 pounds? Now that is an accomplishment. Before I forget, my change this week. Drinks, dropping sweet tea. Have been on half and half for a while, now going full Monty in this upcoming week. I know one thing to be true. Life is about the journey, not the destination, because we all know where it ends. Nurse AI is coming to spend 2 minutes with you on some information on table sugar and why it is such a big deal. I'm Dr. Troy Seibert. Keep up your journey to health. You can do it. Eat an apple today. Keep the doctor away.
Hello students. Welcome to the school where we teach you how to walk the journey of living healthy in 3 minutes or less. I am Nurse AI, Dr. Seibert's artificial intelligence nurse. Today, we are learning about what happens in our body when we eat too much sugar. During the digestion process, common table sugar, or sucrose, is broken down into glucose and fructose. You will recall from our prior lesson that glucose is the energy molecule for our body. It is regulated by insulin from the pancreas. Today, we want to focus on the fructose part of sugar, specifically when we get too much, which is often the case in the American diet with all of the added sugars we use. When there is too much fructose, the liver will convert the fructose into another material you may have heard when you get your cholesterol checked: triglycerides. This is where the damage starts to develop. These triglycerides then circulate through your body and get stored in at least 2 places. 1. Fat cells, making you gain weight. They are stored there with the intent to be used in the future as an energy store for the body. But we keep eating too much sugar and the process keeps repeating until we get fatter and fatter, because we are not using up what was stored from the meal you ate prior to the current meal. 2. These triglycerides can be stored in the liver. This leads to a fatty liver, and in the more severe cases, your liver can become cirrhotic or scarred just like it does when you damage it with alcohol. This whole process of eating too much sugar, leading to increase in fat stores in your body and your liver, is often accompanied by insulin resistance and high blood pressure and is called Syndrome X. Syndrome X puts you at high risk for many of the other diseases that can be life-threatening, such as heart attacks, cancers, Alzheimer's, chronic kidney disease, and more. This is why many diets focus on decreasing your intake of sugar. Keeping your sugar intake minimal is a key component in your journey to health. Some have asked, why is it so hard to stop eating so much sugar? That is a topic for our next lesson. If you like these short educational clips or would like to see other topics explained in 3 minutes or less, please let us know in the comments section of this video. And as always, please support our efforts by liking and subscribing to our channel.